All right, now I'm going to try to describe to you the logic of analysis of variance, known as ANOVA for short, with 3 slides that demonstrate what analysis does, or what analysis of variance does. Now, I'm just going to select, because it's convenient, because your book demonstrates it, the dependent variable as achievement motivation, but we could call this anything. The idea is that I have a variable that varies across strata. So in this example, our independent variable is social class, where I have lower class, working class, middle class, and upper class. And the idea is that these groups all exist on the same x-axis, which we're going to call achievement motivation. And if I were to graph each one of these groups independently, each one would have a mean. Okay, so I have the mean of group 1, noted by x bar sub 1. I'd have the mean of group 2, I'd have the mean of group 3, and the mean of group 4. Now, the analysis of variance as a technique is going to look for, are there significant mean differences across all 4 of these groups? And so the null hypothesis is going to be these means, all 4 of them, are equal to each other. But I need to look at 2 basic things within analysis of variance. Remember, I discussed the F ratio as a ratio of between to within group variability. So let's deal with the latter part first. This is an indication or an illustration of a within group variability. In this case, I have pulled out one observation from underneath each curve, and I've called these x observation 1, x observation 2, x observation 3, x observation 4, to refer to the fact that these observations come from the mean of group 1, the mean of group 2, the mean of group 3, the mean of group 4, respectively. So keeping in mind that each one of these distributions has its own mean, okay, these scores that I have pulled deviate from their respective means by different amounts. So here I have a pretty large degree of variability between x1 and its mean. Here this observation is a little closer to its mean, but it still varies. Okay? Likewise, x3 is down here below its respective mean, and x4 is below its respective mean. So what we mean by within group variability is the extent to which underneath each one of these curves independently, how scores differ from that respective mean. So within group variance refers to how much variability is there in achievement motivation within those of lower classes. How much is there within working class, how much is there within middle class, and how much is there within upper class. So we're going to have kind of 4 measures or 4 indications of within group variability. Now, analysis of variance, remember the numerator of that ratio is our between groups variability. And so if I add all of the scores in those of the lower class to those of the working class to those of the middle class to those of the upper class, I'm going to eventually get what we're going to call a total mean, or x bar t, to refer to the fact that if I add up all of the achievement motivation scores across all of these groups and divide by my total amount, I'm going to have a total mean. Now, when I'm talking about between groups variance, I'm talking about the extent to which that the average of each group deviates from this kind of total mean. So I can see my lower class mean deviates quite a bit. My working class mean deviates, a little less. My middle class mean deviates this much. And then my upper class mean deviates by quite a bit. So what we're trying to do with analysis of variance is provide a ratio of between groups variance to within groups variance.